Hey folks, it's time for the quote of the day, and I tried really, really hard to find somebody that was born today that was in the LGBTQIA plus community that had a good quote, a good qualifier there, that I could talk about today because today is the last day of Pride Month, and I really wanted to do that. So I did. I searched high and low. I couldn't really find anything that I necessarily wanted to talk about from someone that is confirmed in that community, right? Now, this is a bit of a dad joke, so stay with me. But I did find somebody that just by his name, like maybe will fit in, maybe if you'll allow it. Today I'm going to be quoting the poet, the writer, and the oftentimes philosopher John Gay. Now I know that doesn't count. And but to be fair, it's not confirmed whether or not he was actually gay or not. That was his name, but we don't know if he was actually homosexual. We don't know that. So maybe he was. He did hang out with a lot of dudes. So I don't know. I don't know. And I'm certainly, no shaming, and I'm not trying to make light of it. I literally spent like 2 hours doing this, and this is the closest I could get, damn it. So stay with me on this. I tried so hard. I do want to say before I get to talking about John Gay though, the way I found out about this is crazy. So give me a second. But I just want to say there is someone else who's born today that I wanted to quote, but doesn't really fit the theme that I was going for. But I need to get this quote out of my body because it inhabits a part of me that I have to say it every time I get the opportunity. Today is Mike Tyson's birthday, and while I certainly don't want to quote that man, he did say something that I find particularly useful in many instances in my life. And that is, Mike Tyson once said, "Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth." He's right about that. That's very, very accurate. I just thought I would share that because it's an important way. It's an important thing to understand, especially in today's world where punching in the mouth may need to happen from time to time. It's important to understand that sometimes you can really disrupt someone's plans that way. Now, as far as John Gay, it's funny because his name kind of has been lost in history. A lot of people don't know who he is. And I'll be honest, I don't know much about him. I really don't. And I know that most people, when they watch these videos, they assume that I have some sort of knowledge. But that's not the way that I always come about finding the quote. A lot of times it's in this case it was serendipitous, honestly. Like I had heard this quote and I knew his name because of the quote. I don't years and years ago, like probably 30 years ago. I've had this quote written down as one of my collection of quotes, and it is a quote that I absolutely love. It is simple, it is easy to understand, but it comes from a poem that he wrote. I can't remember exactly the name. I think it's called the Tiger, the Lion, and the Traveler, or the Lion, the Tiger, and the Traveler. I'm not sure, but I haven't read it in years. But it basically is a story of I think it's a tiger comes out and attacks a traveler who's walking down the road, and the lion comes along, sees them both kind of fighting essentially, and roars and scares the lion off and beats the hell out of the lion. And then the traveler goes to thank the lion, and the lion is like, "What are you doing?" He follows him back to his cave and is basically like, "What the hell are you doing, dude? I could kill you and like no problem." And basically the traveler's like, "I just wanted to thank you, and you use your strength for good." And but it's a great story. It's in a certain rhyming meter that is enjoyable to read and to listen to. But this is a line from that, and it's just such an important idea in today's world that I just really, when I realized that it was his birthday, I genuinely didn't know. I like I said, I don't know much about the man's life, but I when I saw his name on the list, I remembered the quote that I had written down, and I was like, well, I didn't remember it verbatim. Like I didn't have exactly. I would have had to paraphrase it at that point in time. So I had to go back and I had to find it and I had to look for it and all that stuff. So, but it all worked out because now I have the quote, and here we are. Today's quote by the poet John Gay: "Cowards are cruel, but the brave love mercy and delight to save." Cowards are cruel, but the brave love mercy and delight to save. You know, I know that it's supposed to rhyme, and I know I read it incorrectly the first time, but that rhymed too. But I absolutely, I think the message of this is more important than the rhyming. I think that this line in particular carries so much weight in today's world. We are watching every day, politically, this come to fruition, right? The cowards are cruel. And yet there are some of us, and I'm not necessarily even counting myself in this, but there are people out there that are standing up and fighting back, that are standing up and saying something, that are standing up and doing the brave thing and trying to save us, trying to pull us, wake us up, shake us, get us moving, get us to where we can actually do something. Because unfortunately, we've got literally generations of cowardice being exemplified as the way to be. There are more people, I believe, in America right now that feel as if they're not strong enough to do anything. And it doesn't come from a place of cowardice for inside, but they've been taught that cowardice. They've been taught that cowardice is virtue, that checking out and not paying attention is somehow a good thing, that not speaking up when you see something wrong is somehow okay. We have taught all the wrong things in this country, and we have been taught that for literally decades now by people that we have allowed to take the mantle of leadership. We have voted them in based on lies and false promises, and then followed their lead to a position where now none of us, I mean, really, myself and you as well, we don't really have an understanding of our own abilities, of our own power, because we have seen just backroom deals and backbiting and horrifying things turned into just the way it is. Think about the fact that right now, literally just the other day, J.D. Vance, in an interview, was talking about how Watergate was quaint, basically. Oh, that's silly. And he's right. He's right. If something like Watergate happened today, people would be like, it's no big deal. Have you seen what Musk has done? It's literally we have just normalized that behavior to the point where we don't even know what it means to be courageous anymore. We don't know what it means to stand up. And we've seen the cruelty of the cowards in positions of power. We know what they're willing to do. And, more than just politically, this quote absolutely speaks to those of us that have felt the cruelty of cowards personally, right? Most people have been in those friendships or relationships or mother-father dynamics, whatever it may be. And you've had that situation where that person is a coward and takes their pain and their cowardice out on you. They inflict pain on you because they are cruel. And you don't get the opportunity to really grow beyond it, to heal beyond the pain that they inflict until you recognize not only the cruelty, but that the fact that it comes from cowardice. And that is when you start to realize, fuck those people. Fuck those cowards. And then that's when you know you're healed, as they say on the internet. You know you're healed is when you look at something and you say, you're a fucking coward. I don't want to have anything to do with you because I will not suffer cowards. Because people that are brave show mercy. People that are brave give people chances. People that are brave are kind. And people that are brave delight, as John Gay puts it, delight to save others. We don't care if we get hurt. We are trying to help. That's what people that are brave do. Happy birthday to the poet, the philosopher, and the man who's appropriately named for the end of Pride Month, John Gay. And to the rest of you, take care of yourselves and take care of others, please. I'll talk to you soon.